welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a minute. I had to take a little bit of a break because of some personal things, but I am back and we are working on our next quilt. I have not actually done a quilt block like the one I'm about to do. This is what we are going for. Why is it so fuzzy? Can you see? This is what we're going for, is the Sawtooth, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We're about to make my first ever Sawtooth quilt block. So we're gonna go off of this tutorial. This is by Pepper Co Handmade on TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. Hopefully you can see her name. But this is the tutorial we're going by because I am a very visual person. I cannot read a pattern to save my life. If the pattern does not have a tutorial with it, then I probably won't buy the pattern because it'd be a waste of money. But we are going to start out by cutting our blocks so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to cut out 4 different squares. So I'll show you what. This is the squares that we're going to cut. Hopefully you can see the numbers. If not, then I'll put them in the description. But we're going to cut out 4 different sizes. We are going to use this. I have just scrap fabric and I'm hoping it's enough because I didn't want to cut a big piece of fabric just in case I messed up on this first block. So let's see, first thing we're going to do is what they are calling the goose. I don't know what that means, but all right, so the goose is going to be, I think that's the middle. Hold up. Nope, it's not the middle. It's the outside. We are cutting the goose and it's going to be 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And we are cutting 1 out. Means, let me undo this. Where is my... I about cut my finger with this rotary cutter not too long ago. About chopped it off. Luckily, it is still intact, all 10 of them. But it did frighten me on using this thing. And it's dull right now. Does anybody else's rotary cutter just get super dull really quick? Because mine does. I can only use it for one project and it gets dull again. Alright, so 5 1/4, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4. And we have our first square. Although that doesn't really look square. I know I did this right. Hold on. Let's see. A 6. Why is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, this is going to be the worst part, is cutting out the squares because I can't math. I've never been good at it. Now that's square. That is definitely square that time. At least I noticed. I'm not dumb. So got that one done, and then I need another fabric. I have very similar fabrics to what she's got, colors, and so this makes it a little bit easier just so I know what I'm doing. That's lucky, I guess. Alright, so 5, wait no, this is 4 by 4 1/2. Actually, let's do this. And then we need our corners, which we are doing from the same color. Fold this so I know what I'm doing. Actually, I need to cut it in half, really. Where's my other scissors? That was loud. Alright, so this one is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and this is for the corners. So I'm just going to try to line these up as best as I can so I don't have 2 1/2 by 2. I don't know why this makes me so nervous. It's just following a pattern. 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 on the corners, and then points is 3 by 3. I hope this is in inches. No, it's got to be inches. And then we'll do points. These colors obviously don't have to be the same, and they're not going to be. I have a inspiration. Can you even see what I'm doing? Golly, I'm terrible at this. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh well, I'm gonna square this off. Oh, I was telling you about my quilt inspo. I have quilt inspo, and I've actually shared it on my Instagram and TikTok already. Y'all just don't know it. But I found this quilt. I don't remember if it was on Pinterest or what, but I saw this quilt and I'm actually making this for somebody. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that is so her. That is my inspo, and it has the Sawtooth stars that we're doing, and then it has just a checkered pattern, and I need to square this off. So it has a checkered pattern in between, and I think it's going to look really cool with just different kinds of fabric. not even stuff that really matches. We're going to go along the same color palette because I want it to look cohesive, but we're probably not going to use more than one, what was I saying? We are probably not using more than one square or color scheme. Alright, so I think we have all our blocks. So, oh, no we don't. I wasn't paying attention. So we need 2 more of these and 2 more of these. So let's do that. I can't do this and talk at the same time. That's very difficult for me. It's very quiet in this house. I'm very tempted to turn on the radio. No, radio. That makes you sound like super old, but not the radio. Whatever, you get it. Now I have everything. 1, go 4. What should we listen to? I almost feel like we should listen to classic rock or K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't want it to be bad words. We'll do this. That's loud. Oh, my tutorial. So, we are going to do, let's see, we are going to mark. Okay. I need a. So, next, we're marking our corners. It says mark 1/4 inch away from each side of the center diagonal line. So we are going to make our diagonal line. I hope this works. I really hate these pencils, but I can't find my heat pen. Just ordered some new ones because it's literally the only one I have. So hopefully they'll come in. You can barely see that. See, this is why I don't like these pencils. They don't do right. I can see it. We're just going to have to deal with it because I don't have the pins. Alright, so yes, 1/4. I can't see this. I can see it, but it's really pissing me off. Am I gonna be able to see this? Anyway. That is the most jacked up lines. Whatever. I do need to figure something else out. I'm gonna make a Walmart run. I couldn't do it any longer. I had to, ooh, hi. I couldn't do it any longer. I had to go get pens because this pencil was just not doing it. So, we're gonna mark out, dang, now you can't see the, we're gonna mark out the middle and try to get this quilt block done because that is my goal for today. So next it says to grab your, this is the goose I guess, and then we are going to pin on the corners. This isn't fitting like that one. That's not fitting right at all. Hold on, I did something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It says that the goose is supposed to be 5.25, which is 5 1/4, and then the points are supposed to be 3 by 3. But it's supposed to overlap like this. I don't know. What did I do wrong? This is right. That's 3 and 5 1/4. I seriously don't know what I did wrong. This is what I did. I cut the goose smaller and it's going to overlap just like this. So I'm going to stitch right in the mid. Nope. I'm going to stitch the outer lines and then I'll cut in the middle. I'm not really sure what happened with the measurements. I double checked and triple checked. I measured correctly. So I don't know if it's a problem with maybe the tutorial, but this is going to be a smaller block than what she advertised because I had to cut my goose. But I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal to me. Ooh, I don't have my thing threaded, my needle, because it's time. But can anybody tell me what the reasoning is for the different numbers on the needles? Because I have no idea. I really just pick one and go with it. I'm sure that's not the correct way to do that, but I don't really care and I don't really feel like looking it up right now. So we're just gonna stick with it. Bobbin, where's my bobbin? I'm gonna have to pay attention because this bobbin is almost out, but I don't want to rethread it because there's still a good bit in there. Yes, I know that this thing has an automatic threader. I don't use it because I can't get it to work. I'm pretty sure the threader piece, the metal piece that's supposed to thread it, is bent, and so I don't really have the best of luck with it, so I don't use it. I forgot to turn my music back on. So we are going to go down the sides. How do I already have so many loose threads? I've barely done anything. So it's going to end up like that, stitched twice. Yes, it's uneven. This is a practice thing to see if I will like the size. However, I could do better with the actual stitching part, but I'm really not that worried about it. So we're going to cut down the middle like this. Why am I shaking? First piece. Now I need to iron it. So next is to attach the remaining point. So, nope. Let this be your sign not to eyeball it. Whatever. It's heat erasable, so it'll come off. But don't eyeball this crap. I don't know what I was thinking. We're gonna do it on the other side, because now I'm confused. If you wanted a teacher, you wouldn't be tuning in. This is purely for entertainment, mainly mine. I'm learning with y'all. I'm a fairly new sewer. I sew easy stuff. I don't sew difficult things. So if you wanted a tutorial on how to do this properly, this is the wrong video for you. Sorry to burst your bubble. I was gonna make a video of the entire quilting process, but because this is a bit harder than I thought, I may just have to do a video on just this and then come back when I have all the blocks made, because I can definitely tell that this is gonna irritate me, but it's fine. So we're gonna put it on the corner this way, right sides together. So right here, and we're gonna stitch in. Going to try to be more even this time. Once I get the hang of this, it's over for you heifers. So there's that. I feel like we're halfway there. So we'll cut down the middle again, and then stop right now. Oh my gosh. It looks like a real quilt block. Sorry, Howie. I'm sorry. It's okay. He's checking on me. Come here, Howie. Come say hey to the people. Hey, hey, he's checking on me. Ow. This is my little bear cub. Sweet baby. All right, get him. So now I just have to iron these open and then do the other side, and then we'll have 4 teeny quilt blocks. Oh, I'm so excited. So what I did was I took the fabric that is supposed to be in the middle, and I did 3-inch square all around. I knew that was going to be a little too big, but I wanted to be able to get it was a weird fraction, so, and I didn't want to miss out on the seam allowance. So I did 3 by 3 square, and then I just squared it off after I sewed it. All right, so the only thing left to do for this block is to put the pieces together. And then, you've got to be kidding me. Dang it! I put these on upside down. So let me seam rip. Dagnabbit! I fixed it. It is now correct. Feast your eyes. It does look good. We are almost finished with it, so all I have to do is golly, there's so many strings. All I have to do is put the 3 pieces together. It is no longer a bunch of pieces. It is now just 3. We are done. We'll square it off and then we're done. This is definitely not going to be used for the quilt that I am planning. I think I've said that already, but it is definitive. It is not going to be used. But it's perfect for something else maybe. But you're almost done, guys. And we are done with the quilt block. This is the finished piece. I just need to square it off. I think some measurements went wrong here as well. But you know what? It looks good, and I am not mad about it at all. This is definitely, the measurements of this quilt block was way harder than I anticipated. I'm going to have to find something that already has the measurements for me, and I feel like a dummy for saying that, but I don't know. I want to be able to do this quilt right, and I want it to be bigger pieces. I don't want it to be too small. Then I would have to do a ton of them, and I don't want to have to do that. But for this first quilt block piece, I would say that it went pretty well. I expected the hitch. I expected that I was going to have some difficulty, at least with the measurements, if not the actual pattern itself, how you do it, like the process. I have a quilt block that the size probably is the best, in my opinion, for the quilt that I want to do. I got this from a lady at the church that I go to. She did this, and this is the size that I want to do, which is, I think, about a 12 by 12 maybe? 10 by 10. It's a 10 by 10, so that's good to know. But the finished quilt piece is a 10 by 10, and I think this is where we are going, if not maybe a 12 by 12. But, so size comparison obviously is nothing, because the one I just did is just so small, and it was supposed to end up being an 8 by 8. It wasn't supposed to be as small as it is. But I am very proud of it. It looks really good. So maybe I can make maybe frame it or make it as a little bag, or I don't know. We'll see. But the process itself was okay, and I would definitely know what to do now. How to do it is just getting the measurements correct now, and I think that would be an easy fix. So, but this video was not necessarily what I intended, but I'm glad that y'all stuck around for this long. I will have more quilt blocks in the future, and we are going to work on this quilt together eventually. I need to get the measurements down, and then we can go through the whole process of putting all the blocks together and batting it and then actually quilting it. So I think this is a good jumping off spot. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks for hanging in there. I'll see you in the next video.